What do you know about Alabama?
I'm upstairs watching right now, obviously. I'm about an hour and a half in just looking at stat sheets and analytics. And, I've watched a little bit of their game against Florida in the SEC tournament at this point. So I'll know more certainly by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, if I sleep by tomorrow morning. I know they're great on the glass. I know they're very athletic. They're very long. I know they've shot a really high percentage from the two-point area. And, I know the kid Randolph. I've watched him play for years, even dating prior to him going to college, and he's a kid I respect in terms of just being a wolf. I mean, he's a tough kid. He reminds me a lot of Ray with his body and his strength and his competitiveness and his relentlessness. So that's about all I know at this point, but I'm going to continue to study him, and I'll know more by tomorrow.
What's the dynamic of playing a team with only 48 hours notice of who you're playing?
Well, it's obviously, but for both teams, you really have one day tomorrow. And it's not so much about what we know and what we find out, it's what the players know, what they're able to, able to gather from us. So at the same time, you also got to keep it, I think, fairly simple, on a one-day deal. Be more about who you are and, what you're trying to do than necessarily about the opponent.
You guys got back on the court today. What was it like, and what are the guys?
It was competitive today. It was chippy today, which was good. I expected it to be that way. We got up and down quite a bit today because we had 2 days off. I thought the 2 days off for them was good. Get them a chance to get a little bit refreshed mentally and physically. Kind of get back, get their legs back, get their minds back a little bit. And I thought they competed today.
Tinker with lineups at all?
That's a possibility for sure. Obviously we didn't play very well the other day, and our job is to put them in position to play well, play lineups together that play well together, that I think give us a chance to be competitive and to win basketball games. I've said that for a long period of time now, dating back to when we made the change at one point with Brandon Paul, and people asked me if I was playing a mind game with him. I don't play mind games. That's not my deal. We're trying to put the best team out there, the best lineups out there that make us the most competitive.
Some new experimental rules in the NIT. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
those?
the
And how does that
30-second shot
change
clock, the
anything?
restricted arc. It will a little bit. Those 5 seconds will make a difference. I think you've got to initiate offense quickly. I don't anticipate that being a real, problem for us, but it will be a little bit different.
Chris, what do you know about the players that didn't play for them late? That they had, I think Redden missed, Kessens missed the final game, and I just wondered why. Was it injury or
I don't know enough about that at this point, Lauren. I know that the kid Tarrant is a really good player. He's been out for some time with an injury. I do know that. There are other guys. They've had a couple other guys like that have been in and out of the lineup a little bit. They've changed the lineup quite a bit throughout the year. They seem to be comfortable playing the lineup that they played. They started in the Florida game. Those kids that started for them have all played around 30-plus minutes here the last 5 or 6 games. So, we'll certainly start there and then digest the rest of their roster here shortly.
This isn't the tournament you guys wanted to be in. You're going into the season. Talk to the guys. Are they going to be ready to go for this one?
We'll see. I'm not playing. I'm coaching in the tournament. I told them today that's a choice that they've got to make as a group. I've had a chance to be in. Although the tournament's a lot different than when I first started. Meaning that it used to be the deal of probably a little bit more driven by maybe who they thought could draw the most people. I don't want to say money driven, but it was a little bit different type of tournament, where this one's a little bit more. I certainly don't want to say those teams back in the day when I was in it as a coach didn't earn it. That would probably be unfair. But this is a little bit different. I think it's tried to be seeded appropriately, and those teams that were regular season conference champions that did not win their conference tournament are in it, and they try to seed it based on merit, and I think all those things are good. Obviously, since the NCAA's kind of taken charge of the NIT, and we understand. I mean, there's 350 plus Division I teams, and the first 100, so to speak, get to play in either the NCAA tournament or the NIT. So, we're certainly not trying to be, where we're not grateful. We're grateful. We understand it's a great opportunity. I said that last year when we were in it. Are we disappointed? Yeah, sure. The guys wanted to, I think all the teams that are in the NIT would tell you that they would have, preferred to be in the NCAA tournament. But for us, we're going to try to make the most of the opportunity.
Did you learn anything going through this last year about the dynamic of this tournament or what it takes to get you guys up and ready for this tournament?
I thought last year we were up for the tournament, both games. I'll be honest with you, I say that. We were a little bit slow to start the Boston game, and then once we got going, I thought we were pretty good, and then I thought the Clemson game was a real battle between two defensive teams. At that point in time, our team that year was really good defensively. Their team was terrific defensively. It was hard to get a basket in that game. It was a great crowd on a Sunday in Clemson, South Carolina. Great crowd, ruckus environment, and I thought both teams really battled. I thought our competitive spirit was good last year. Our mindset helped with that. I thought our approach, as Marcus was alluding to, when you don't make the NCAA tournament, where are you at mentally going into the NIT, I thought was very, very good last year. Now, will that be good again this year? I don't know. We'll see. A lot of that I think will be dependent upon our leadership and our older guys. I know last year Bertrand and Iki played their tails off in that deal because they wanted to continue to play. And I think that's big, when your seniors have that type of mindset and that type of attitude towards the tournament.
Does it say anything about the state of high school basketball in Illinois that no Illinois teams got in the NCAA?
I don't know. I think some of that stuff is, cyclical. I don't think it's, I really haven't put that much thought into that. I know there's teams that have good years that don't necessarily make the NCAA tournament. It's hard to get in that thing, hard to advance in it. Same thing. Even when I said there's only 100 teams that get in the NCAA tournament or the NIT, there's 250 some that don't. So I don't know, Rob, what that necessarily says. I think sometimes it's a basket or two, or margin for error is small. I haven't seen a lot of the in-state teams play just because I'm so locked on our team. I did see, I think it was Illinois State play a little bit in the MVC tournament, and thought they did a really good job, with their team. I got to see a little bit of that game, and they're obviously good. I think they're in this tournament as well.
Had you guys had that chippiness in practice lately that you talked about?
Yeah, I thought we practiced well leading into the Big Ten tournament, if that's what you're alluding to, and I thought our preparation was good, and I thought the guys did a really good job of preparing themselves to play. I just think once the game started, we just didn't have enough energy. We didn't play as well as we needed to play. Give Michigan credit. I've watched it now a couple times. I thought they were terrific on offense. Phenomenal. And so give them credit, and they get going like that offensively. I think they shot. My wife said they shot. We were in the hospital the other day. Said they shot 56% from the field in the first half against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's decent. They're not bad. 56% is an awful high number. They can do that on the offensive end. They can make shots. We knew that going in, and they executed well, and they got great shots. The ones I had a problem with were the ones in transition, or some of the ones where we could have controlled a little bit with some better communication and execution. But certainly give them a lot of credit for executing well and making shots when it mattered.
How important do you think these extra games can be for the young guys that are coming back next year, some quality postseason minutes?
Well, I think anytime you can get in postseason play, obviously it's a great opportunity. Guys continue to learn and grow, and what we learned from the tournament the other day, we talked about that today as a team. What we learned last year playing in this tournament, how we can be better. I think if you have a mindset where where you view it as an opportunity to learn, regardless of what you're doing, where you're at the time, and we always take that mindset, or we certainly try to learn from every circumstance. I think you can get better and you can grow.